Practical method because that's the name Hong used when he was alive. When he passed away, people started using different names because he personally was not a Chen family member, but studied from Chen Fa-Ke for 15 years, and he was the person who was the longest disciple under Chen Fa-Ke. And after he passed away, many people in Jinan, in China, started calling him Hong style. You probably heard Master Jing uses Hong style. Yeah, Hong style, and in Chinese we say Hong Tai Chen Shi. It's kind of difficult to translate, but in Chinese it makes more sense. It means Hong's Chen style Tai Chi. So it's still Chen style, but based on Hong's personal transmission. You're welcome to interrupt and ask me questions anytime you want to. As the standard bearer for international transmission, I'm only interested in teaching the authentic, original way this Chen Tai Chi was taught through Hong teaching me this way, and he learned it from Chen Fa-Ke. But supposedly this has very, very good martial art applications, and also is very good for health. But my personal concern is to try to teach it the way it is, and if you can benefit from it from a martial art point of view, good. And if not, that's the way it was. But I believe that by preserving it this way, there's value. Because it's the same as a language. When you preserve it, somebody might become a good writer because of that language. And people who learn it authentically might become very good, might be many, many times better than me. Or even we hope in the future we can make Tai Chi even better than Chen Fa-Ke's time. And so that's the hope. So in that way that I'm a traditionalist and I'm only concerned with this aspect of Tai Chi, and because of that, I teach all over the place, but I always teach very dedicated small classes. So I'm very happy to see so many people. Either you're interested or you just wanted to hear about it and want some information, and I'm very happy and thank you for coming here. If you have questions, you're welcome to interrupt me. As I said, this should be very informal. I also have a class here during the day, this morning, today, and also the next few days. If you don't have any questions, so the Chen Tai Chi we teach is overall very similar to any other Chen Tai Chi you have seen, and it includes the foundations, and we're very strong on foundations, and then the Yilu, Cannon Fist, and the two sword forms, straight sword and a broadsword. And in the practical method transmission, we do not have the big guandao, and we do not have the spear. And I personally know those two forms, but they are not from the Hong transmission. And because of that, I give that up. I don't teach anymore. I just wanted to concentrate on what Hong personally taught me. And the two sword forms, I just want to give you a little bit of the origin so that in the future you know exactly where this comes from. The straight sword I also teach came from Chen Fa-Ke's daughter, Chen Yuxia, and I teach that form. And directly from her, Hong himself never taught that form. The broadsword was taught her Grandmaster Xu Guicheng. 你知道的吗? Xu Guicheng, Grandmaster Hong, only practiced Yilu and Cannon Fist all his life. And I can say that most of his life was devoted to Yilu, 81 moves. And Cannon Fist, he only did enough so that the transmission was there, so that he didn't forget the form. But the concern was always Yilu, lots of Yilu to get the foundations. So when students wanted to learn more, he invited Chen Fa-Ke's daughter to Jinan and taught us the straight form. And then young people wanted more, because when you have a school, you want to demonstrate and show people things. People always say, what do you know? And we did not know the broadsword. So Grandmaster Hong was very open-minded. He says, one of the things is that if he did not know, he told people. And you probably, like I don't know, you live here and it's different. In China, it's very rare for a teacher to say, I don't know. Most traditional teachers will say, I'm not ready to show you this yet. And usually in China, that means I don't know. But they won't directly say that. So Hong said, I don't know that form. If you like it, I'll find somebody I believe who is very good at it and to teach you. So when we wanted to learn the broadsword, and Hong sent Xu Guicheng And Xu Guocheng just passed away on the 14th this month at the age of 89. And Hong sent Xu Guicheng to Beijing, learned it from Grandmaster Feng Zhiqiang, and came back and taught all the Taiji brothers that form. So that's why, for example, the Master Ding's broadsword is slightly different from mine. Why? Because that one was, to be serious, not authentic. So because Master Xu came back and shared with the Taiji brothers, and then everybody has a different take. Because if there's only one teacher, the teacher will say it's like this. You can't change it. So it's like you learn it from a Taiji brother. You think that way, I think this feels better. So we are all slightly different, but based on the choreography is the same. So these are all the forms we do. And in addition to that, but of course there's a push hands. And so here we also have Master Ding here. Some of you are familiar. I particularly suggest that for the push hands part, Master Ding is the teacher here. My Taiji might have some applications, but I'm interested in the theory and in the alignment, in the energy flow of that form. And the practical way, and it's called practical. Master Ding is still young and he competed in China with a very high standing and lots of experience. So that kind of, it's a good combination that we have the fighting aspect and then we have the theory aspect of it. And so basically this is the entire curriculum of the Chen style Taiji Chuan practical method. And today this method is all over the world. In Canada it's very small, and Europe, and it's becoming better, but in China it's very, very big. And because at one time in the 1980s, the first 76 gold medals in push hands competition were all, the first 196 came to the home school. So after that, eventually everybody learned it. And whatever the competition push hand that you have seen, they all came from Grandmaster Li Yanjiu and through permission from Hong. So Grandmaster Li Yanjiu came up with fixed exercises to train push hands, and Hong gave him his blessing. And that was after the competition, people invited him all over the place and taught everybody. And I think it's a good thing because by doing that, everybody learned it. Not only that, many actually became even better. And I'm not saying better than the teacher, but their schools were better, which is good. And that's the idea, that you promote something, other people learn it, can become better. And because otherwise, the transmission is every generation, it becomes something is lost. Pretty soon it's all gone. So we want the art to be transmitted and eventually will become better. That's the idea. So that's the entire practical method curriculum that I teach through workshops here, and also Master Ning permanently here during weekdays. And we also have some very basic classes with Calvin, and they're starting to do the basic foundations and form. So do you have any questions? I saw him last time. Hello. And if you don't have any questions, maybe if you want to sit down or just move around a little bit, I'll give a taste of what I'm talking about. So at the beginning we do foundations first. So I'll just kind of quickly go over. The very important foundation is called the positive circle. And once you know the positive circle, you will go into negative circle. Negative circle is the opposite of the positive circle. So the positive circle is the core foundation. The Chen style Taiji Chuan practical method is a system designed like this here. Meaning it's a reversed pyramid. So but I'm talking about going down this way. Normally learning is you don't know, you learn lots of things. Practical method is designed for you to experience in your life. Your body moves in various ways. You're very flexible. You can multitask and all sorts of things. Through the training, in the end, we arrive at one move. And that's the design of practical method of Chen Taiji. So in the end, and Hong said, 15 years, every day with the Grandmaster Chen Bake, only saw him making one move. But of course, the form is making one move when he was attacked. At that time, it was not a friendly exchange. People came to attack him. Because The idea in Beijing at that time is he's got a name. I'm nobody. If I can knock him down, I become somebody. He's gone. And Chen Fake lived in Beijing from 1928 to 1957. Never lost a fight. And the fights were frequent all the time. I was not at that period of time, but during my time studying Chen style Taiji in Jinan, Shandong, my 4 years at the university constantly, weekly challenged my people. Because in China, the location is free. You no rental. You practice in a corner in the park. And if somebody can beat you next week, he teaches them. Because then you have to look for another spot. And this is like, for you here living in Canada, you don't know that because it's here, people are very peaceful. Because you have resources. Over there, if you are taken over, you have to go. There's nowhere to go. Usually, you have to start a new place. And if you can't kick somebody out, you find a place with no people, and then you physically actually go there and level the ground, and it's yours. It's very primitive. And then you have to be there, and if there are people around, it's kind of, I guess it's just not a modern way, that you have to ensure when people are around you, tell them to get lost. Because otherwise they get closer to you, and then eventually you got no room. And that's how things were down there. It's just traditional. So the beginning is here, is the positive circle. It is very awkward, so I taught this. You guys want to come and try it? Some of my students who are, you don't have to, but the people who are doing the workshop anyways. So the key is there is a line. You have to have a line here, otherwise you have no point of reference. The front toe is on the line, the rear toe is on the line, front heel is on the line. Once you're here, you will feel this is very awkward. So this is the Chinese concept called bu ji bu li. It's not on, not off. And it's called half in, half yan. If you're like this, it's double heavy. So here, it's on. This one is almost on, this one is almost off. And so there is, with ability, you have to assume, you feel, if you want to do this, you imagine there's a big, thick rod here. So it's not random. So that space, the controlling, understanding, and manipulating space is very, very important. So in Taiji, we use the body to demarcate space. So meaning once you are here, so here, I put the hand here, there is a space, the dot here. Every time it has to be here. So it's not random. Every time it has to be here. It's this spot. You can't see it, but through training, gradually you know it's this spot. So it's not every time, maybe it's here, maybe it's there. There is a spot. That spot has to do with a relationship. That spot is from this arch here, going through this line here, it comes up here. And it's over here. It's the extension here, goes up here, it's right here. So if it's here, there is no alignment. If it's here, no alignment. Here, no alignment. It's right here. And so when I push like this, don't use power, just stretch. Yeah, you feel that? Relax the shoulders. Relax. Not that relax, means open. But wrong way. Go slowly, go down. Go back, stop. You feel that? Okay? This is a crooked, open. So this is a manipulation of space and the structure and angles. So eventually you notice that I've been training since 1979. I can pretty much guarantee you can't find any muscles on you. Because it's all about these kind of things. We don't train to be strong because what we say is we're training negative things, yin. Because strength is a result of work. One day you can't do that anymore. You can't say I have to lift weights because when you're 90 years old, you can't lift weights. But the position, when you're 90 years old, you can say that I don't have the physical power of a 20-year-old, but I have precision. And precision is, imagine, same as a gun. It's not how strong, it's how I can aim. If I can find the aim, it works. But I can be very strong, but you are there, I'm here, it doesn't work. So this is the kind of a basic thing. But once you are very good, it's more mysterious than that. But at least at the beginning, it's very important to have this kind of things here. So in this case here, it has to come back. Okay, so we should actually fix the postures, and while doing this, I'll give you a little bit of a story of how things work. When Hong was teaching, I went to the third stage. He taught during 3 periods of time, and the oldest stage, I guess, the people are all in their late 80s and 90s. So when I went in, that was the last stage. His last stage of teaching was in the Black Tiger Springs Park in Jinan. And at that stage, I started, when I went, there were about 25 people. In 4 months, I was the only one there. And because first you have to do this, no talking. And after a few days, half the people are gone. And then after a few weeks, then you are allowed to do this. So the circle is like this, no talking, just everybody else, his senior students are doing it. You just watch and do this. So after another 2 weeks, more people are gone. So after 4 months, there's not anyone left. And if you happen to still be there, he will say something to you. Otherwise, it's whatever happens, he won't say no, he won't say yes. It's just like that. And if you ask him, he just say, "We're just the old people fooling around. We don't really know." That's the old way. And so when I learned it, it was very hard in a different way. He wasn't harsh. It's just difficult to get information, because by the time you can stand there for 2 hours every morning, after 4 months, you already got basics. You are fairly strong. Because talking about people with no physical experience before, through this, you gain some abilities. So the circle, and you probably know that in every style, and it doesn't matter what Chen, Yang, Wu, Sun, you all do some form of circle. So our circle is based on imagining a line here, and from your stomach here, there's a 45-degree line here. Your circle has to be on that line. So it's not like this. It has to be here. And your circle is like a wheel. It cannot deviate. Meaning, Ken here is in my right position. So stay there. Actually, what's your name? Ivan? Yeah. Ivan is in a perfect position. You just stay there. I'm just using you as a point of reference. You are where my circle is. It's here. And so if you see the circle big, bad. So you are in a position that you are the only one who cannot see the circle. People here can see the circle. You are right on line. So if you see the circle, it means I did it wrong. It has to be like this. You only see a very thin line. So now you see my arm, that's no good. So from here, my shoulder has to go into that line. And the hand is here. Then if you can't do it, you have to force yourself to do wicked, strange looking things. But eventually you don't have to do that. So the circle is here. The thinner, the better. So this is called wide. So I give you like this, you can see. But if it's here, you can't see. So to speak, if I have a wheel here turning, you can't see it. People on this side can see it. So it's on the 45 here, and when you are doing this, how protruding Tai Chi principle requires that if people can see your move, it's wrong. So if I'm looking at you, I'm fighting you here, so you can see my chest. And you can see my arms, it's wrong. They should be like this. And if I go like this, you shouldn't be able to see a lot. If you see, can you see here? You see a lot, all wrong. Because whatever you can see is called yang. Yang is protrusion. Tai Chi has to have no protrusion. Nothing showing off, nothing hiding. Everything is in line. Nothing disappears. It's all in, but you cannot see. So the idea is the vision, the line of vision is very important. That determines direction. Which direction? There has to be a line of vision. If there is no point of reference, you don't know what direction, you don't know where the moves originate, where they're going. So you have to have a point of reference. The point of reference is from here, that's 45 degrees. So I have to make my moves as small as possible. So this is, at the beginning, you can see every part of it. And this looks really nice. But if you can see it, you can fight it. And you can't fight something you cannot see. It means it's hide, that move is somewhere you can't see. Same as our daily life. You look at this place, I don't know, but if you stay in a very nice fancy hotel, the real work you do not see. So in every room, there are extra rooms, utility rooms, there are panels for heating, for whatever. Everything is hidden. If everything is in your view, it's poorly designed. For us, the same thing. All your body, the system is all inside. So it's not everything is outside for you to see. Tai Chi the same way. So you should do something that looks like, what's that? Nothing. You should not be able to see the real workings of anything. The real workings is like here, there's a heating system, there's wiring system, there are many, many systems, just like we have nervous system, we have blood system, respiratory system, lots of systems, so we don't know where they are. And by the time they protrude, they show up, we're in big trouble. Usually that's a sign of disease. Like those things are showing up. If the bones are, this is becoming very big, it means the joint, there's something wrong with your joint. So everything must be well hidden. So this is the positive circle here. Eventually, I'll just give some ideas here. In the positive circle, everything has to be in line. But what does it mean? In line means in line, like a train is on the rail. So when the train is on the rail, when it moves, I always say from Chicago to Moose Jaw. In the 1920s, the longest line originates from Chicago. It ends up in Saskatchewan, Moose Jaw. And as long as the train is on it, and there is enough fuel, power, conductor, it will be Moose Jaw. Why? It's on the rail. So Tai Chi is like that. But what we're afraid of is that it will derail. So you have to have the rail, then you have to learn to keep the car on the rail. So doing Yilu, Hong calls it laying the train tracks. And cannon fist is put the train on it. Push hands is, now let's try it. Will the train carry you somewhere on the track? If it goes off the track, it's push hands, you fall down. So there is a track, your opponent produces a track, and you fall off and you fall down. If you stay on the track, you're going back and forth with your opponent. There is pushing and resolving, everything is constant, yin and yang, back and forth. So that's the idea. So this is a positive circle. In the positive circle here, it's called in with the elbow, turn with the waist, out with the hand. So the idea is from that vantage point, you should see as little as possible. If you don't follow that, in with the hand, you can see a larger surface. And out with the elbow, you see a larger surface. So you go very much like that. Some of you have other experiences, you will say, this sounds like Xing Yi. And actually some people say Tai Chi is the upper body of Xing Yi, lower body of Fa Rao, and the movement of Tai Chi. So the choreography is like Tai Chi, but this is just saying how accurate is this description. It doesn't really matter. But you know that good martial arts all share basic fundamental elements because these elements conform to human physiology, nature, and gives you power, gives you efficiency. Efficiency is something that we strive for in Tai Chi. Any questions? So that's the positive circle. It's in with elbow, out, turn with waist, out with the hand. And do not lean, so don't lean like this, and do not protrude, these kind of things. So it's very, very basic, fundamental. There's nothing drastic, there is nothing fancy, and no drastic movements. Negative circle is starting here. You come back from the top and you go out from here. Negative circle goes out, in with elbow on top, turn with waist, out with the hand. It's one of the forms in Yilu, one of the actions, one of the techniques. And you realize these are very scientific methods that he was using. And it makes sense because if you're training this and then when you push hands and none of what you do is ever from here, why are you doing that? We should just stop doing that, spend time doing this. And only if there is a merge, then you are going together. Why? Because your push hands is the experience, giving your Yilu some experience. They should be the same. It's just pushing hands is fighting with an opponent, Yilu is fighting with an imagined opponent. And that we know that Chen Xing already said a long, long time ago. So that's the circles. You guys are not sore? Yeah, that's good. Lots of sweating. That's not even 2 hours yet. No questions? Okay, Calvin, you want to, with a few